At first glance, a meadow may seem peaceful and still, but hidden beneath its golden surface, an entire world is already awake. Among these blades of grass lives one of nature's most remarkable jumpers, the grasshopper. Deep, calm, cinematic male narrator's voice says, "To us, it may appear simple, but its life is a journey of survival, transformation, and reproduction. Every leap is part of a story that began long before this adult ever touched the sky." The story begins not in the open air, but beneath the surface of the earth. After mating, the female must find a place where her offspring can survive the harsh months ahead. Using her abdomen, she deposits a cluster of eggs deep within the soil. Hidden together, the eggs form the beginning of an entirely new generation. Each tiny egg contains a developing life, waiting for the right moment to emerge. For many species, the eggs must endure a long period of cold, dryness, and uncertainty. Above them, the world changes. Below the surface, the eggs remain hidden. They wait for warmth, moisture, and the return of life to the meadow. And then, after months of waiting, the season finally changes. Spring awakens the world above, and deep beneath the soil, a new generation begins to stir. Inside the egg, a tiny creature has completed the first stage of its life. It is not yet the powerful jumper we recognize. It is a nymph, a miniature version of the adult, born without wings and strength. For the first time, it enters a world filled with opportunity and danger. From this moment forward, survival will depend on one simple goal: grow. Almost immediately, the young nymph begins searching for food. Grass becomes its fuel. With every bite, energy is transformed into growth. But the meadow is also filled with predators. A young grasshopper has few defenses. Detailed sounds of a... Sometimes, the best defense is simply not being seen. But growth creates a problem. Like all insects, the grasshopper is protected by an exoskeleton that cannot grow. To become larger, it must leave its old body behind. This dangerous process is called molting. For a short time, the new body is soft and vulnerable. Within hours, its outer shell begins to harden. The nymph returns to the only task that matters: eating and growing. One molt becomes another. With each stage, its body changes. Small wing buds begin to appear. Its powerful hind legs become stronger.
Now, The ability to leap becomes its greatest advantage.
Eventually, one final molt remains. This will be the transformation that changes everything. The old body opens, and a fully developed adult emerges. For the first time, it possesses the body it was destined to have. The wings strengthen. The exoskeleton hardens. The transformation is complete. Now, the grasshopper enters the most active stage of its life. It can travel farther, escape predators, and search for new feeding grounds. Its senses help it navigate a world filled with constant threats. Every movement, every vibration can signal danger. But the adult grasshopper has another purpose. The search for a mate begins. Finding the right partner is essential for the survival of the next generation. Through movement and species-specific signals, the male attempts to attract the female. If successful, the pair will mate. And with this moment, the cycle begins again. Now the female carries a responsibility that reaches beyond her own life. She must find a safe place for her eggs. Once again, the earth becomes the nursery. One by one, new lives are placed into the darkness. Protected by the soil, the next generation waits. From a tiny egg to a powerful jumper, the grasshopper's journey is a story of constant change. Every stage brings new challenges. Predators wait at every turn. Some survive through speed. Others survive by disappearing. And some simply remain unseen, long enough to live another day. But grasshoppers are more than inhabitants of the meadow. They are part of a much larger ecosystem. They provide food for birds, reptiles, amphibians, and countless other predators. At the same time, their feeding influences the plants that shape the meadow. Every bite connects one life to another. But no life in nature lasts forever. After completing its mission, the adult begins to reach the end of its journey. The seasons continue to change, and the world around it begins preparing for another cycle. But its story does not end here. Hidden beneath the ground, the next generation is already waiting. Through winter, the eggs remain protected beneath the earth. Then, the rain returns. New plants rise toward the sun.
And deep below, the waiting ends.
Another generation is born. Once again, a tiny creature enters a dangerous world. It will consume its meal. It will hide. It will shed its old body. It will grow. And eventually, it will transform. From the outside, the grasshopper may seem like a simple creature. But behind those tiny eyes lies an entire lifetime of adaptation. With a life shaped by hunger, danger, growth, and survival. A life that connects the smallest blade of grass to the largest ecosystem. And a life that quietly plays its role in nature's endless balance. Every grasshopper begins as something almost invisible. A tiny egg hidden beneath the soil. Then comes growth. Transformation. And finally, freedom. Yet every generation is only one chapter in a much greater story. From a hidden egg beneath the earth, to a nymph, to a master of the meadow, the cycle continues.